Alhaji Abass Wilson. He's the General Secretary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission in Ghana. But just before we bring in Alhaji, Helen Apiampofo is still here with me. Helen, what do you think the fasting period of the Muslims is for?
Well, it's for a lot of things. And we talked about discipline, right? So we know that it's the core, or at the core of this particular celebration. Our fasting during Ramadan symbolizes self-discipline, spiritual purification, and solidarity with the less fortunate. It's a way for Muslims to grow closer to God, develop patience, and gain a deeper appreciation. But I'm sure that we'll be getting way more insights from those who know more.
You and I are not Muslims. We also have been joined by Brother Mustafa Abdul Latif Sani. He is a Muslim cleric. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining our morning. Let me start with you, Alhaji Abass. So, 30-day fasting period has all come to an end. I'm sure you partook in the fasting exercise. What was your motivation? Is it because it's a religious exercise? Is it because you are required to do it, or there's something more we don't know about?
Yes, thank you very much. And first and foremost, let me extend Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers out there, those who celebrated yesterday, and even those who I understand will be offering prayers tomorrow. First and foremost, yes, it is true that every Muslim will do his or her best to attend the teachings of Islam, because it is commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so by obeying the dictates and the commandments of Allah in itself is something that has a lot of blessings in it. So even it's for nothing, once the Almighty Allah says that we should fast, and we claim to have subscribed to Islam, we have no excuse or no reason not to, except for reasons that has been stated in the Holy Quran. For example, when you are on a journey, when you are sick and all that. But apart from that, as a Muslim, whether you like it or not, it is a commandment of Allah and you must do it. But beyond that, Allah tells us so much about the blessings therein. He says that all the spiritual people, including the prophets, the messengers of Allah who came before us, they got nearness, or they gained nearness to He, Allah, because of fasting. So fasting is one of the vehicles that you can use to gain nearness to the Almighty and be able to fulfill the object of our existence on earth, which is to worship God. And at the end of the day, when you die, you hope to be seated on the right-hand side of the Almighty Allah. So yes, it is our religious obligation, it is our religious duty, and every Muslim must fast. And we are doing so in the hope that our fasting will be accepted, will gain nearness, will purify ourselves, and so that at the end of the day, we shall enjoy the mercy of Allah when we are dead and gone.
I see. And this is to you, Brother Mustafa Abdul. I'm sure you also took part in the exercise. I don't know whether your motivation was different or it's the same requirement of Allah for you to fast during this period.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, sir. And then my extending greetings, warm greetings to all Muslim brothers and non-Muslims as well for this season. Greetings. Yes, just as my brother has said, it is an enshrinement of the religious enshrinement. Quran chapter 2 verse 183, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala said, Kutiba alaykum as-siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. He said, I've enshrined fasting upon you, that is the Muslims, or the humanity in general, just as He has enshrined to those who came before us. But like my brother had said, first of all, it's a religious duty. It's a matter of faith, issue of faith. However, if we also want to bring it to a scientific, Muslims believe anything that Allah has enshrined in the Quran. It's not it's not just a religious kind of just merely religious activity, but it has positive impacts in our lives here before we even go to Judgment Day to gain the heaven. So, the medical scientists will tell you that fasting is good for us, just as it was even mentioned clearly somewhere in the verse, Allah said, "Wa antasumu khairul lakum." When you fast, is good for you. I mean, health-wise, and then spiritual-wise. You understand me? You have to you get a benefit. I mean, doctors will tell you that your system is going to regain the health, and then so it's not only about religion per se. My motivation, first and foremost, is religious, but secondly, also we also get the other benefits. I'm just adding this bit because my brother had mentioned the religious bit, and then also in terms of spiritual upliftment. We are human. We are not animals. So as much as we are in this world, we have to be able to live so that at least we'll be as the human as we are. What is the difference? The difference is that, we should move away from the animalistic sphere to the angelic sphere. A human being, if he does not follow, the moral practices or the teachings that he has to do, if you turn up to become an animal, behaving like an animal, that is, his spirit is weak. He has a very weak spirit. You understand me? Anybody at all can attack, and then he will not use his conscience from the way whatever he does. But when he follows the rules and he follows the enshrinement of the divine enshrinement, whether it's biblical or it's Quranic, then he turn up growing his spirit. His spirit becomes stronger. When his spirit becomes stronger, then he is taking the angelic characteristics. In fact, that's the purpose of which God had created us. He didn't create us to just come to this world and behave like animals because we are human beings. We are not. And one of the very important exercises is fasting. Fasting, apart from the medical side, physically you're going to get healthy. Spiritually too, it makes you stronger. So I would say 3. Number 1, fit. Secondly, the spiritual upliftment, as well as the medical, the health-wise side. For the spiritual upliftment, if you are spiritually strong, I'm telling you, when you raise your hand and ask God for something, you just answer immediately. This is what a lot of people were able to do, and they are called men of God. That is Muslim for you. Thank you.
I see. And Mustafa, so you abstain from food and water during the entire period. What else are Muslims, or did Muslims abstain from during the 30-day period?
Yes, so it is not only abstinence from food and water in our fasting, but you also have to abstain yourself from a whole lot of activities. For instance, if you're somebody who has a wife, you're not supposed to get nearer to your wife. You know what I'm talking about. And also, you are not supposed to. Also, you have to guard your eye from looking at anything that is immoral or corrupt. You have to guard your mouth from saying things that are not right. You have to kind of live a kind of circulation life. In fact, there are about 9 elements of things. I'm sorry, the background. I'm just in a hospital, so just have to rush my mother. So you just say to your background. So there are about 9 elements of things that you have to do alongside when you are doing the fasting. Apart from what I've just mentioned, first of all, you must pray religiously. You don't have to pray with your 5 daily prayer. You must read the Quran. You must do a lot of supplication. You must do a lot of meditation. And then you must also do seclusion. You are not supposed to be, everywhere, found everywhere. You have to do some kind of seclusion. Seclude yourself a bit so that it will help you in the meditation. And also you have to talk less. You're not supposed to be talking just, anything at all. You just talk. When you're able to combine these features together, then it helps you with what? Achieving the spiritual bit of it. But if you are fasting and then you're just abstaining, you just abstain from fully food and water, but you just look at anything, you just talk about anything, you are not going to gain the spiritual aspect of it. Okay.
I see. And to you, Secretary, it should not be an easy journey. I don't think it was an easy journey. What else did you abstain from apart from food and water and sexual relations with your partner, Abass? Abass, can you hear me? Hello? Unfortunately, I seem to have lost Alhaji Abass Wilson, the General Secretary of the Ahmadiyya Muslims Association. But I still have on the phone lines the Muslim cleric. Brother is still on the line with me. So let me ask you then, and I'm talking about Brother Mustafa. You just spoke about the things you abstained from during the fasting period. How easy was the journey? Unfortunately, I lost Brother Mustafa as well. We'll try and reconnect with the two and we'll bring you, we'll continue that conversation we're having about the essence of the Ramadan, celebrating Eid-ul Fitr and upholding its relevance to Muslims. This is still 3FM 92.7. We will try and reconnect with our Muslim brothers to continue with the conversation. They abstaining from bad behavior and speech, guarding their eyes, abstaining from food and water. You don't even have to swallow anything during the fasting period.
Yes, I knew that it went beyond food, water. I knew that it was to include, relations between married couples. But I think I'm getting some much needed education that it also includes, staying away from engaging in too much talking, because sometimes you talk and enter a territory of maybe even gossiping or some territory that you shouldn't be in. Also abstaining from looking at certain things that are unholy and unpure. So I knew that it was a lot more, but we're getting to know the ins and outs, if you will.
But there's for the physical benefits, there's the body detoxification as well, and then weight loss. So that you see our brothers and sisters during this period, they look
not all of them, because eventually they break the fast, and what you break your fast with is also very important as well. So yes, I think for a large proportion it definitely alters the body weight, body composition because of the lack of food. But others are also looking even bigger than when they started their fasting.
For those of them, it means that's how they are. Because Charlie, if you look at Napo, for instance, and look at Abdallah, Charlie, their weight is now only 10 kg.
Hey, are you sure?
They stopped talking. Well, they were not talking a lot. They were only saying important things.
Absolutely.
And that is not to say that they like to say unimportant things when they are not fasting. But during the fasting period, they abstain from excessive talk, so that when you talk too much, you say a lot of things you should not say.
Oh, honestly, it's an important lesson to all of us. Don't talk too much. But I suppose also for our Muslim family, the hope is that after 30 days of living like this, it translates into the rest of the year. It's not to end just after Ramadan,
exactly.
To celebrate.
So
and
that's the conversation we'll be getting into when we reconnect with them. But there's also the bit about improving self-control during the fasting. So you're resisting food and you're resisting drink and the desires. It is teaching you patience and a lot of self-discipline. So it's not an easy thing for our brothers to do. Anyways, I understand we've been joined by Brother Mustafa Abdul Latif Sani, the Muslim cleric, is reconnected with us. Mustafa, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear. Very sorry. I'm just currently urgently at hospital. I have to rush a relative to the hospital. So they just had this call. That's why I'm sorry. But let's listen to you.
Please forgive us. If you need time to attend to the relative, please let us allow you, sir.
Okay.
We'll reconnect with you and then have a conversation with you later. But
that's fine.
Thank you. We wish your relative a speedy recovery, Mustafa.
Okay, thank you.
God be with you. May Allah help you. Brother Mustafa Abdul Latif Sani is a Muslim cleric. Unfortunately, he has to leave us midway in the conversation. He has an emergency he has to attend to.